Everybody, it's Brady from Celtics Film Room, and just going to be doing a quick little video into Celtics Game 4 versus 76ers. It wasn't the greatest game, or I guess the greatest finish in the world if you're a Celtics fan, but still some promising things from that game, even though it was kind of frustrating, to see how the end result was. But I thought we'd take a dive into the defense of the fourth quarter and what changed. Celtics just looked a little lethargic. It looked like not that they didn't want to win, but it looked like they were okay. They weren't throwing their best punch when the Sixers threw theirs for the first three quarters, and it took them four quarters to finally do it. And they did. But let's take a look into what happened. First of all, the Sixers definitely looked fatigued, I would say as well. Take a look here on this pick and roll here that Harden. They ran a lot of Paul Reed, James Harden pick and roll in that game one. We saw it. Here they're going to run high screen roll. Paul Reed pick and roll. Really good job here. Rob Williams on the drop, not getting too far back in the drop. Um, Jalen does a really good job recovering, and Paul Reed just, he doesn't seal. He doesn't, go to a spot in the court where he's going to be a threat. So it allows Rob, basically to have one and a half guys while Jalen recovers, and it's basically Rob stops the driving lane, and now Paul Reed finally slips, and Rob didn't even need to hold on that long, and once he does, Rob's in perfect position to be able to stop Paul Reed because Rob's a little bit longer, and now once this happens, Rob's just going to be able to block a shot. He can do all the up fakes he wants. And it's just notice there's not a lot of off-ball movement here from the Sixers as well. Tobias does relocate a little bit. Malcolm notices it, um, and just put in bad position. 1.7 the shot clock at this point. Almost when they get into this pick and roll, 7 seconds left. This is just a little too late to operate. You got to get into your shots quicker if you're the Sixers here. And this is ultimately what started. And the Celtics really had, they really took advantage of this first 2 minutes more if their offense, um, if they just executed on offense, which was, a little frustrating as well. But here you can see here, right, they missed like the first 2 minutes. Pretty decent transition defense, not horrible, but again, not perfect here. Transition, getting the Yang miss. All right, they made a lot of shots. Give the Sixers credit. They made a lot of shots. So a lot of averages has to even out. Kind of did in that fourth quarter. Um, yes, again, still, this one hurts a little bit because this was a game they played so well, and it was just a combination of game they should have taken, and they played so well in that fourth quarter. That just hard not to be a little bit frustrated. But here, I might have got a turnover. I might have just skipped the play. Regardless, again, look how late the Sixers are getting to their set here. Still haven't really initiated anything until 13 now, which isn't super late, I guess, for a slower paced team. But they don't want to be a slower paced team. We saw from that game one, they wanted to be a faster paced team when Joel was off the court. Here, Joel's actually going to make a quick decision right away. Boom, gets it. That's when Joel's most effective. So he's going to make a quick decision, draws in, decides, I can shoot this, but, I'm kind of trying to draw the foul here. I couldn't get the foul draw, and I just don't feel like I'm going to be in a good spot to be able to make this shot. So he's going to pass this here to Anthony Melton in the corner. Decent, not a great job in rotation here. And they're going to give up the wide open Maxi three. He's gonna mix it. I guess not wide open, but open. And at this point, I think the Sixers' legs were a little tired. They're a little bit tired. They got them in rotation here, and the Sixers still missed some open shots, but they were making almost all these shots in the first three quarters, and kind of started to even out in the fourth quarter a little bit. Um, Again, you don't want to be sucked in that much. Notice how all the Celtics are in the paint, right? You want to pay attention to Joel, but you don't want to feel like you're going to give up every single possible shot out of this, if you do decide to go cover Joel. And they got an open three. They kind of got away with it. Sixers' legs probably a little bit tired at this point. They were able to battle. They were able to battle. Here, notice again, late in the shot clock. Just you don't want to get this late in the shot clock if you're initiating your offense. They may have tried already, but no, there's 5 in the shot clock. A lot of these possessions are late in the shot clock, and they still haven't really initiated offense. You're going to force James Harden. There's an obvious push off. They don't call it. That one pissed me off a lot. Should have been an offensive foul. Um, it is what it is. Okay, the Maxey one was not an offensive foul. It was officially ruled by NBA official too in the last 2 minute report. Sixers fans were not happy about that, but that was the right call. That was absolutely the right call. It was live. Problem is, people go in slow motion and everything looks like it's much worse than it actually is. So people get up in arms about slow motion when the game is played in live motion, not slow motion. This one was an offensive foul. Didn't call it. Is what it is. You know what? They got the two. James was effective. Was willing to finish with his right hand for a floater. Give him credit. They executed. Celtics come back down and score. Again, another late possession. Joel here in the corner. Late in the shot. Not in the corner, but um, close to the corner here. Later in the shot clock. Joel's got the ball now. About 5 feet left of the elbow. He's probably about 15 feet away from the basket. And now he's going to want to operate, right? 8 seconds. But, Al Horford's going to do a really good job here. And they're going to send a good time double here. And notice the Sixers spacing isn't great either because look at the length. Right, Brogdon's shorter, but he still has some decent length. Jason has great length with his arms. Notice his hands are up too, just even a little bit when he showed that his hands were up for a second there. Um, and Jason slides down a little bit. This is a really good, well-timed double team and not great spacing from the Sixers here. Off-ball movement could have helped here if they were timed a little bit better. Marcus comes in to help. Joel's going to shoot the double team and gang rebound. Nobody even came in to crash. Another good defensive position. Not a great offensive possession for the Sixers, but hey, you take advantage of it. Sixers get in transition here. They decide to slow it down. James gonna make a good pass to Joel. Simple as that. Transition, outnumbered. If Joel runs the court in transition like this too, um, Joel saw it right away, ran the court in transition, give him credit. If Joel's going to run like this in transition, which he doesn't very often, Sixers are really tough to stop because then it's like Giannis in transition with Joel's body. It's a lot more. It can be very difficult to stop. So um, give him credit. Poor turnover, and they executed. Again, late in the shot clock here, almost a shot clock violation. Now you feel like you have to shoot this as a shooter versus feeling like you can shoot it. You want to shoot it. You feel like you have to shoot it, and when you have to shoot it, you rush things, and your body just doesn't it doesn't focus and lock in the same way it would. Maybe not the best way to describe it, but I think you know what I'm trying to say here. Is versus when you have to versus you want to get to your spot, it's a little bit different. This is not the spot he chose. He felt like he had to shoot from this spot. And because it's late in the shot clock, finally get a paint penetration here, but he sees Al Horford, and Al's got like 3 blocks at this. I think probably maybe 2 blocks at this, 2 or 3 blocks at this point. And so he's established himself as a rim protector. But I probably would have tried to go up here, suck him in, and then throw this little pass here to Joel. Instead, he's going to throw it out late in the shot clock. You're going to force a tough shot. It's open, but it is a tough shot. Malcolm does a good job running him off the line here. It's not really a good closeout whatsoever by Malcolm, but he's really just trying to take away that 3-point threat. As soon as Malcolm could have done a little bit better job as soon as Maxey gets here. Boom, slide right away to make this a little bit tougher instead of keep committing. A little bit of a delayed reaction, but it's going to work out okay because they're going to get the miss. Gets the rebound. Jason got one of his 18 rebounds, and they threw that pass away, which ended up working out okay because they still ended up going on this run. And then right here, this was I saw this and was like, okay, Jason is really locked in now on both ends. Even though they just I forget what happened, how they scored on that last offensive possession, but here, right, Jason cuts a little bit. They're trying to semi-transition right here, and boom, caught a little bit of a backlog in terms of their rotations. Jason's sees it right away. Boom, Yang's committed to shooting it. Jason just uses his length here. Really good contest without fouling. He's gonna block the shot, and now they're on the run. And this is what fueled their run here. Jason's gonna even after the blocks right away. He's gonna run in transition Now you got a 4-on-2 basically, and good cut by Jason, not just standing at the 3-point line. He's going to cut, noticing James Harden's the only one at the rim, and bang, 2 points. And that's where the ball game started. Really started. Celtics going that run, up for everything. And this was, at this point, I was like, okay, I think Sixers are going to respond here. They didn't even really throw the big punch. They didn't throw a big punch like I thought they would. And some costly defensive possessions in overtime, kind of got to them. Some good execution by the Sixers. They were tired. To me, I look at this and Boston just let go of the rope just a little bit too much. Let this game go away. But here, late in the offensive shot clock, again in the possession, took 9 seconds for Joel Embiid to finally face up. Al Horford, really good defense here. He's going to notice how low he's going to get. A lot of centers like to stay up so they can try to contest the Joel shot. But Al does a really good job here. He did a lot of times too of staying low, working low because he knows he can get up quickly. This is one of the best Al Horford games I've seen defensively yet this whole postseason. Going to do a job being physical, get his hand on his back a little bit. Not something we're going to call in the postseason for sure. It's going to establish this is on both sides. This isn't just Al Horford for only Embiid. It's on both sides. Little bit of hand contact they're allowing, not a full on. I would say, hold. They're not allowing that. They're not allowing hand checking, but they are allowing like semi hand checking in the postseason, which is good. You want more physical defense. Al's going to force a tough shot and even maybe block the shot from here and Embiid, or at least force a really tough contest. Maybe gets a piece of it. I think they did call this a block. He's going to get some of the basketball here. And just really good one-on-one defense. Simple as that. Not a lot of Tobias. Look at the spacing from the Sixers here. They get two guys. Maxey tried cutting. Marcus does a really good job. Maxey didn't really go hard on this cut. If he goes hard on this cut here, maybe you get it and you force Jason to commit in, then you can get an open pass out. Not the best cut he could have. Maxey runs right away. The spacing is now messed up for the Sixers, and Celtics are going to get the ball back. Just some really good half-court defense here by the Celtics that made it super difficult on Philly to score in the half court. Also, Philly, again, I think they looked a little tired at this point. Again, late in the shot clock. If they were more energy, they probably would have had a little bit more discipline, probably would have gotten to their possessions earlier. But here, notice late in the shot clock again, Joel Embiid is going to face up Al Horford one-on-one. Horford, again, really good defense, or else he's not going to be able to get the shot off without fouling or without drawing a foul. And again, Tyrese Maxey does a really good job of forcing a bad closeout. Marcus is caught in help here. Joel makes actually a pretty decent pass here. Marcus gets caught a little bit out of position here. So Tyrese is going to cut to the rim. But Jason does a really good job of weak side help. And like Malcolm's already like boxing out, I guess, with Melton. And so he's not really in it. And Melton's like trying to set a back screen, it looks like maybe, to try to free Tobias. I'm not sure what exactly Melton is doing here. But Maxey's going to try to go up. And Jason's actually going to get the block here. They got two. Al Horford's recovery, amazing recovery. Look how good the recovery is off ball. Joel's, going to crash the offensive glass after, but not important if you secure the basketball really close after the block. Amazing weak side block here from Al. It's not, I guess, not the strong side, but weak side block here. I guess Tatum got the block technically. But again, really good help here from Al, and then Jason coming over as well. Makes it impossible for Maxey to get the shot off. Maxey's aggressive enough where he wasn't going to throw it to Tobias. Probably should have. It was late in the shot clock. Probably maybe didn't know how much time he had, and he was going to go up and he'll get the block. Again, really good. Their rotations, their help defense was really good. Besides that last position, which I'm sure you all saw. Again, late in the shot clock. Exactly what you want late in the shot clock. Not a lot of movement. Al's just going to block this. It's pretty simple. Joel's not going to get a lot of lift. He's going to get barely any lift on this jump shot. His legs look dead tired. Probably going to miss this anyways. And Al Horford's going to be able to get in time for the block. Notice how low Al is. It's easier to go from low to high than high to low. Quicker reaction time to use your strong base to get up than to feel tall and try to get low. It's much harder. So he's going to block this shot. Simple as that. And then get back in transition. Really good. I mean, this use your defense to create offense here. That's what you got to do, right? You hate to feel like you're out of control ever, but you want to try to get in transition. That's exactly what you want to do here. Could call the foul there on that shot there by Marcus. And then we'll look at a couple of the offensive possessions here. Mm-hmm. Get there eventually. Look at overtime. Look at some of these overtime offensive possessions here. Only got 5 shots here in overtime. Not a fan of that. Free throws, I guess 1 free throw. But only getting 5 shots in overtime is never a good sign. It means Philly dominated the ball a little bit too much. Um, Getting only 5 shots in overtime, no bueno. No bueno. That's one thing I look to first is only getting 5 shots in 5 minutes. That's never good. Job by Jason there, 1-on-1. Really, he feels like he can go at Tobias Harris whenever he wants. Just a little bit faster foot speed wise. Notice how he's just always making Tobias react a lot every single dribble. So when she's going to cut, not feel phased by Joel. Not really great spacing here by the Celtics, but listen, Joel looks dead tired. It looks like he had no business wanting to contest this anyways. Um, like wanted to, but I don't know if he had the energy to. And he's just going to finish over Joel. Simple as that. Not really bad crunch time offense right there. Here I don't like. Notice 9 on the shot clock. Marcus is still dribbling. Just a little too late. You got to get into your sets right away. You have no reason to hold on to the basketball at this point. Get right into your sets. So you can try to score it. They might have scored here anyways. But my connection, I guess, is pretty bad right now. Looks like they scored here anyways. But regardless, just get into your set. Get into your sets a little bit earlier. You don't need to wait until 9 on the shot clock. This is what ended up costing the final possession of overtime and why they couldn't get a shot off because they got too late into their set. You have to get earlier into your sets in overtime. Overall, I thought the crunch time offense wasn't all that bad. It was mainly because, especially in the fourth quarter, their crunch time defense was elite. They need, in order for the Celtics to win tonight, they're going to need their crunch time defense to be their full game defense, right? 76ers will come out more energy to start, but it's clear the 76ers got really tired, and so did the Celtics in overtime. So you're gonna have to be able, you're gonna have to be able to just play even 36. You play 36 minutes of elite defense, you're probably gonna blow them out, and there's not gonna be a fourth quarter. The bench guys come in, so they need to take control of this series from the defensive end, and I think the offense has been fairly consistent throughout this series, and I think it's been dominated a lot by what they do defensively. And so as long as they take care of that, I think they'll be in okay shape. But they need to bring that mentality they did, that killer mindset in the fourth quarter, for at least 6 of the remaining 8 quarters of the series. If they want to wrap it up in 6, if they want to wrap it up in 7, that's up to them. But they can finish this series in 6 if they take care of their business. All right, that's all I got. Maybe do another video tonight or live stream, whatever, and we'll see how that goes, or tomorrow, depending on what happens. I don't know.